little spot is only one little spot in a world of lots of little spots, spots I've simply got to see. This little spot is such a perfect little spot, and now it's clear that this spot is where I'm supposed to be. I've sailed the ocean, climbed the Alps, seen the great cathedrals and chateaux, but being here it's crystal clear there's nowhere else on earth I'd rather go. It's here I sign my name, it's here I stake my claim, it's here I light the flame. Here there must be a bell that rings so clearly that it sings among the stars. In every corner of this earth I will ring that bell to herald this birth. Yes, here there must be a school. With one small step I leave security for a world I just don't know. With one step I'm finally going where I need to go. With one step I've lost control. It's now my life, not only a goal. We're on our way and we're starting today. What's done is done, life's just begun. Here there must be, here there will be, here there must be a
Hello, my name is Christopher Nikoloff, Headmaster at TASIS, and I'm proud to introduce the 2020 Founders Day Assembly. This assembly is historic at TASIS. Like so much else in 2020, this assembly will be virtual. I did not have the opportunity to meet Mrs. Fleming, but from everything that I've heard, my understanding is that she really valued community, human contact, human touch. In fact, you can still today on campus feel the warmth and the human connection that she founded TASIS with many decades ago. So I'm not sure how she would look at virtual assemblies and virtual meetings that we are using so much today in 2020. Having said that, we also know about Mrs. Fleming's famous resourcefulness, adaptability, and all the way from the beginning of the school in 1956, where she's starting the school really out of the summer programs in a matter of months, all the way through all the many schools that she started and the many changes she's had to make over the years. That spirit of resourcefulness and adaptability lives on in the chairman of the board, Mrs. Fleming's daughter, Lynn Fleming Eshelman, and the spirit is alive and well in TASIS today. We've had to make many adaptations and changes, such as in the dining halls, in our classrooms, in the art rooms, in performing arts, in the dormitories, and even on our grounds, in our parking lots and fields and whatnot, all for one purpose, really to bring the community together and to get that human connection that Mrs. Fleming so valued in her TASIS schools. So I think today is carrying her spirit. It's another adaptation, again, to bring us together as a community and continue that tradition of human connection to make the world a better place, which I think is what TASIS stands for and why she founded TASIS. So I invite you to enjoy this year's virtual assembly on Founders Day on Mrs. Fleming and her enormous impact at TASIS and in the world. Thank you.
Beauty is a very, very important aspect of life on this planet. as a basis for young people to live in, to learn in, and to get together in. I think it's important for them to be here and find peace and contentment and the ability to get along with other people. And yet to have a very strong academic background, because they're going to need this to go back to their own countries and become leaders there.
When MJ asked me to share some words with you about Mrs. Fleming, I felt honored because Mrs. Fleming was a magical and remarkable woman whom I always will admire for her vision and wisdom. As every year, we celebrate Mrs. Fleming's birthday to share with you, the TASIS community, some of Mrs. Fleming's core beliefs and values. Mrs. Fleming inspired so many of us who were fortunate to have met her. I'm also sure that she has inspired many others who never met her, but have read about her strong personality, have heard anecdotes about her, or read her speeches and believe in the values of truth, goodness, and beauty. But now more than ever, in these challenging times for people around the world and for us at TASIS, we have to remember how Mrs. Fleming always found the strength to face challenges. She always said, challenges are opportunities. I have no doubt that in a situation like this, she would have stood up to the challenges of this pandemic, just as our entire community is doing. We live in a beautiful and safe village, Montagnola. Students, don't forget your parents have entrusted you to TASIS because they believe you are in the best place in the world to face today's challenges. At TASIS, we talk a lot about stretching our students to go beyond your comfort zone as you become thoughtful, intelligent individuals. Mrs. Fleming once said, "We hope we have stretched you. We hope we have taught you to welcome a struggle, to stand up to challenge. It will make your life worthwhile and rewarding, and your constant fight against all kinds of ugliness will make the world a better place for all human beings who live in it." This year, finding the goodness and beauty in everything might seem a bit more challenging because of this truth we're faced with. But we face this truth together as a community. Kindness and respect for each other is more important than ever. So it is our personal responsibility because we also must protect each other. We find truth, goodness, and beauty inside each other and alive in our community. We are all part of Mrs. Fleming's legacy, and we are all in this together.
When the night has come
and the land is dark,
and the moon is the only light we see, oh, I won't be afraid no more.
I won't be afraid, just as long as you
Stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh,
Hello and greetings. I am touched to speak with you on Founders Day, held in honor of my extraordinary mother, Mrs. Fleming, founder of the TASIS Schools and Programs, who lived to be 99 years of age and died in 2009. Her inspiration and spirit live on in our now 4 TASIS schools. She was a forceful and inspiring woman. She dreamed big and worked with a passion to make her dreams come true. She kept close her own mother's Bible, in which was inscribed a profound, timeless, ethical guideline. I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. What I can do, I ought to do, and what I ought to do, by the grace of God, I will do. As we confront the many issues affecting our very existence in these historic and unprecedented times, we at TASIS are committed to keeping the light on the hill of our Collina d'Oro shining and alive in all we do. This was my mother's vision, which I believe those of us at TASIS, past, present, and future, are entrusted to actualize. My mother often spoke about the challenges that she, her parents, and their school, founded before World War I, faced in the Great Depression of the 1930s. Think also of the devastation of World War I and the Spanish flu preceding that Great Depression. Only 100 years later, we are facing many of the same challenges with no clear solutions, other than realizing that we all must work together to reduce or fight to overcome enormous dangers and evils. We must take responsibility for each other and ourselves. The world is facing many challenges that impact us all: poverty, injustice, unrest, pollution, and overconsumption of our beautiful planet's resources. These are all moral challenges confronting each one of us, every citizen of the world. This is why we require our students to participate in service learning, and why TASIS has a substantial civic literacy requirement for graduation. When the going gets tough, the tough get going, my mother would say. We are each called upon to do whatever we can to help the aching world. And this is a long-standing focus of a TASIS education, animated by the golden rule to do unto others as we would have them do unto us. Please remember this moral code in all you do and think as a guide for sharing in the TASIS and larger communities. Each one of us is called to make a difference for the better in the world. Take up the challenge and follow my mother's lead. Each of us is only one, but each of us is one. The best TASIS tradition is to encourage that awareness. May God bless each and every one of you this year. I am delighted to introduce a wonderful song, Alma Mater Humanitas, from the musical about my mother's life, MCF What a Life. This version was recorded by our community remotely during lockdown for the 220 graduation. It is a beautiful and moving rendition of this very special song. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
Fleming's favorite flowers are yellow roses. As part of the tradition when celebrating Founders Day, everyone in the community is given yellow rose petals and are asked to gently throw them in the fountain. The petals stay in there for about a week, as they remind us of her and the beautiful and unique school she has created for all of us. To also commemorate her birthday, the assembly usually ends on a sweet note. Mrs. Fleming's favorite cake was fresh fruit tart. This tradition has made thousands of children and students smile over many, many decades.
How do you start a school? I'm tempted to say you just started. You push all the buttons. What we have been doing is to create not international schools, but international human beings.
That it is the only hope the world has. Education in values. Please remember that times change, values don't.
I hope you enjoyed the 2020 Founders Day Assembly. Mrs. Fleming's vision for the students at TASIS was to stretch them both in the classroom, outside the classroom, and as human beings. And as you can see, that vision is alive and well at TASIS today. I would like to thank MJ Bertine, Middle School Dean of Student Affairs, and Samantha Forrest, our Performing Arts Department Chair, for their tireless efforts in putting together this assembly and keeping the vision of Mrs. Fleming alive. I'd like to thank everyone who contributed to today's assembly and thank all of you in the TASIS community for carrying forward Mrs. Fleming's vision for TASIS and the world. Thank you.